with you. I hope you're doing well. So today I thought I was going to use the idea that Marty suggested in my last video, which is to make clusters. So I figured I would use some of these flowers because the goal is to use as many of these flowers as possible. And then I'll make clusters. And then what I can do after is create a card out of it. Which might be an easier solution than trying to fit the flowers with the Project Life cards. Hopefully, anyway. So I will be using the scraps that I've got on my desk because I've got a lot. I've got a bin also with scraps. So I might pull some of those out and then take it from there. Actually, probably should move the bin of flowers on the other side so that I've got access to my scraps. But before I do that, I wanted to share with you guys a new set of sentiment that I created, and that is now available on my Patreon shop. So the link will be in the description box below. So it's an Easter sentiment set. I realized that I didn't have any Easter sentiments. So I thought, you know what, I need to create a set, especially since my Patreon chose as another video for this month to have Easter cards. So I figured I wanted to have a bunch of different sentiments. So this one says, have an excellent Easter, and there's all sorts of different fonts, and obviously multiple. And so if you use up one sheet, then you can reprint it as many times as you want. It comes in a PDF format, and you can obviously print just the page you want, so you don't have to print everything. Then this one says Easter blessings. Then rejoice, he is risen. Then joyeuse Pâques, because there's not a lot that have French, so I figured I was going to include it. Basically, this set has 10 different sheets, including the French one. May you feel the love of God on this blessed day. Rejoice. And I felt like these two, may you feel the love of God, and the rejoice could be used on for Christmas as well. Then you've got have a very happy Easter. Then Easter wishes, happy Easter, and Easter greetings. So those are all the different sentiments that I've created. And as I said, the set will be available for sale on my Patreon shop. The other thing that's going to be available in my Patreon shop, but it's going to be free for my Patreons, is this other set of freebies. So basically, I provided them, and I showed it to you guys in a previous video. I provided them in the month of March a set of images that were sports related for more masculine cards, or at least what I figured was masculine cards, but obviously you could use it for whatever. But I wanted, since they chose Easter cards, I figured I was going to provide them an extra set this month. So the set I've provided here is for Easter, but it could also be used for spring. So this, or Mother's Day. This one I left blank. And that's why I'm saying like that could be used for Mother's Day. Obviously, this has flowers with a scripture. These images come from Unsplash. They're photos that I downloaded. Unsplash is a place where you can access pictures, and they're copyright free as well. Most of them are free as well. Some of them you have to pay. But I didn't just take their image. I also modified them, and I put little frames around them. These here have been done with Adobe Firefly, which is an AI generating software. So basically you figure out what type of image you want, and then you fiddle with it until the AI figures out something that you actually like. Then I've put some sentiments. And then these here, these four I feel could be used also for Mother's Day or springtime. and then there's a little chick and a rabbit. And Easter blessings in this time of renewal. May your spirit rise. Have an excellent Easter. Springtime, the world is new again, and with love at Easter time. I wanted to have a little bit of everything because not everybody celebrates Easter. So yeah, and then I provided 2 sheets, background papers that I made using my iPad. So I wanted some, you know, colors that reminded me of Easter and that would go well with these. So that's what I'm providing them. So obviously if you join in the Peeps tier, you get access to all my freebies for free. Even the previous months, I leave that access open. So you have access to all of that, and you also have access, this month I'm going to be doing 2 videos for them, and depending on how life goes, I might be doing 2 videos a month from them from now on. And then there's the 2 sets of freebie sheets. So but you can also purchase just the freebie sheets if you want in my Patreon store. Those will also be available. So if you don't want to join but just want the sheets, that's a possibility as well. Anything that you do obviously supports my channel and supports me, so I appreciate it. Just you watching, I really appreciate the fact that you're there and taking time with me out of your precious day, because let's be honest, the days fly by, and that you're taking the time to spend it with me, I really appreciate. So we're gonna do clusters. I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna put some flowers on my desk just so I've got the different colors and I can kind of figure out which flower I can use. My goal is to use up some of, like I said, some of those scraps, but I feel like I need to have, for any of the clusters, I feel like I need to have some sort of paper as a background, you know. I can't, like, I need to have something that I can glue other papers with. And clusters, basically you just create them and then you use them as toppers. I also want to have this aside just so that I have an idea of the size. And yeah, so I'll take it from there. I think I'm gonna use this green because this is painty paper that I did, and I'm pretty sure that must be part of a freebie set that I did for my Patreons. Not sure 100%, but I've got a feeling it is. And if I'm going to do clusters, I like to just tear the paper. Then I have this piece here, which was from the last week's video. And I'm thinking I'm going to use the yellow flower for this. I could probably use 2 yellow flowers. In my cluster. And depending on how it turns out, I was thinking I would like to make another set of cards that I'm going to be selling. I'm trying to finish off a bunch of different ones. I think I'm going to use the green, the pale green here. I use a smaller one or the bigger brads. Just want to have an idea of the centers, because that's going to help me choose the rest of the set. So I could go with this, or I could go with the bigger one. So I'm still working on that. I'm hoping to have those kits ready soon. I think I prefer the smaller one, so I'm going to use the smaller one. I'm going to use that one. Okay, so I'm gonna just pop these. So yeah, I want to finish my, what's wrong with this? Why do I feel, oh, I didn't double it up? I took it apart already? I thought I had 2 flowers. So, yeah. Okay, it's just that it's stuck together. I thought so. I'm like, I didn't take them apart, did I? Okay, so I'm gonna try to put it a little bit off center just so that, because a real flower, the petals are not like all aligned behind one another. They're kind of spaced out. I'm gonna try to do the same thing here. I'm really anxious for spring to come along. It's been, we were having nicer, warmer weather, and then suddenly it went cold again, which is to be expected. I mean, we're only in March, so it's to be expected that there's going to be a back and forth of temperature, but still. What do I want to use? Also have this paper. There's too much alike. I want to have more layers than that. I'm not quite sure what type of layers can fit with this. I have all sorts of stuff on here. I understand why I still have some Project Life cards, probably from another project, let's be honest. I really need to clean out my desk, and that's why I figured it'd be a nice time to do this, because before I clean it all off, to use up what I have. Okay, I could use yellow. Not on that one. I'm probably going to be quiet in some of this video, just because I'm trying to figure out what to use and how to use it. No. And I've got some papers that are more for Christmassy, so I think I've got these little bins here that I've been using to put some papers that are lying on my desk, and I think that the ones that are Christmassy I'm going to put in a special one this way, because see, I've got all kinds of different papers here, little scraps, and I thought those would be fun because then I can use those scraps for little makes. But obviously, by pulling this out, I'm not helping my situation in the sense that I'm not using what's on my desk. Oh boy, using some of it, but not all. And one thing too that I thought would be fun, if I can find it, where did I put it? I've got a little stapler, and I thought instead of just gluing everything, I could also staple some of the stuff. I could just put one. I think I just need to commit and start gluing some of the stuff down. And I mean, it's gonna turn out to be whatever it is. And if I don't like them at all, then I can just ditch it and start again with something else, and you might never see this video. Who knows? Because if I don't start committing to something, then I'm never gonna get any of these done. Just an added little extra detail. And I don't know how they're going to turn out on cards either. Will I use them for something else because I just don't like it for cards? Maybe. Who knows? Kind of like that. And then I could edge, like I could ink the edge of the paper. So that's the first little cluster. And I don't know if this is going to be a video in itself. I guess it's going to depend on how long it takes me. So it might be a video of just making the clusters, and then a video of doing the cards with them. I don't know. I have no clue what I'm doing right now. I had another piece of that paper that I saw. Little. Yeah, there it is. I guess I could use this as the base. This is Christmassy. This is Christmas. But these don't have to be Christmas. Oh, one thing I wanted to add as well that I like adding on to clusters is full of goodies that I could use. But one of the things that I really like using, and I thought I would have some, Well, first of all, there's this, which is always awesome. I don't like doing accounting anymore, but I do like using ledger paper. But why do I not have... Okay, so I have a bunch... I've got more, but I've got this that's already started. Some cheesecloth, which I think always adds a nice little detail to things. Just adds a softness, I feel. I don't like it, just adds a little something. I don't need it to be that big. What else do I have? I have some music paper. Okay, I'm gonna commit to some of this. I'm gonna put this a bit under, because I kind of like seeing the edge of the music paper, the torn music paper. And it'd be kind of fun to be going over the edges and not just sticking within the box. Yeah, I like that one where it is. Here. And I like that one on top of that. And I have a feeling that it might be just a video of clusters, and then next week would be a video of the cards made with them. And that's a great way of... I'm glad Marty reminded me, but it's a great way of using up all your little pieces and just making something with them. And then you can decide what you want to do later. You can embellish a journal page, you can make a card with them, you can do all sorts of stuff. And it's just a fun time overall of gluing papers together, because there's nothing more fun than just putting the papers together. I'm trying to use up all the little bits. Okay, so this here I'm going to put with my Fabrifix because it is fabric. I want to make sure that it sticks. I don't want it coming undone. And I believe this is going to also stick to it. Or it should anyway. And this is the second little cluster. Okay, so then for the next one, I have another one of those, but I could put it on this side. And that's a leftover piece also. I don't want it like that. Maybe I could put white on this one, and maybe put two. Anyway, let's see. Guess it's gonna depend on how the full card ends up looking. Have this here. Maybe more on this side. And if I've got the butterfly, maybe just one would be good. Maybe two is going to be too much. Put it so that the frayed edge is showing on that side. Like the cheesecloth just makes stuff more soft, I feel. Okay, do I go with that or do I go with something more bold? I think I kind of like this one. So I'm completely changing my thought process and what I was doing, but it's okay. As I work on these, stuff is going to move, it's going to change, it's going to evolve, and that's okay. I've got this soft little, I think I'm going to put the cream. Do I put the cream or do I put the darker one? Okay, what type of center do I put? I think I'm going to stick to the original one that I had seen and grabbed. Whoops. And if you miss my last week's video, these flowers I purchased on stems at the dollar store, like a huge, like super long ago. I don't even remember when. So, and I've got a whole big bin of them. I don't know what I thought at the time and how I thought I was going to use them all, but seems like I had big plans. So now finding ways of using them is a good thing. I really kind of like that one. It's much different than what I originally planned, but you know, that's how it goes. Okay, so then let's see what else do I have. Do I have other Project Life? I do have another Project Life card here, so I could use that one. I could use music again. I could go off the off the page. Kind of like the idea of putting these here so that if, depending on who purchases the card, they could put the sentiment right there if they're crafters. Like the card could be started, but it could be finished with just a sentiment that would be added. I think I like that one there. And I think I like that one underneath. And of course I went over the line, over my edge. I need to remove that glue, otherwise it's going to stick to my desk. just for the fun of it. So what have you guys been up to? Have you been playing with papers? What have you been doing in general? I've been canning, trying to get some canning done of beans and stuff like that. It's a lot cheaper to buy a huge bag of dried beans, because we use a lot of beans in all sorts of stuff. Obviously, if you don't like beans, don't do this. But I've got a pressure canner, because obviously you need the pressure canner for what I'm talking about. You cannot use a regular water bat one for this type of thing. It has to be pressure canned, and so I've pressure canned a bunch of beans, and then I also did a chili so that my sons would have something that they could easily just pick out of the pantry and eat, because I still have at home a 22-year-old and a 24-year-old, and let me tell you, those guys eat so much, and I don't know where they put it, but anyway, they're always hungry. But I have to admit also that one just has a lot of he stresses easily, and he's been in it's been the exam time at university, so he's been stressing out, so he loses a lot of weight through that. And the other one trains at the gym, so he comes back and he's definitely very hungry. Ah, isn't that sweet? And then you could always edge everything, and let's see, like these will be fun to use on cards. Like, got a bunch of different cards that will be easy to do after. So if you don't have time to do full cards, you can just do little clusters like that, empty out your desk, and at the same time you get future card making. Okay, I've got another one. I don't know how many more I've got of this. Also saw I have a whole big piece of that again. This book frees so easily. It's such an old book. The paper just falls apart. This is some paper that I had a sociology book, and in CJEP, so you can imagine that I was using this when I was in when I was about 18. I had kept it, which I don't know why I did that, because let's be honest, I never referred to it after, but I had kept it, and at one point I decided to stain a bunch of papers, and that was one of the papers that I stained. But this being said, I stained it, but then I haven't been able to really use that paper for other stuff. I don't know why I stained it the way I did. You know, I inked it the way I did with the papers I did. Sometimes you do stuff and then you realize that it might not have been the best of ideas, but anyway. So now I've got all this paper that hasn't been used. I was probably trying to use some of it. One thing too that I think would be fun for me to do again is some flowers. And I could use those to make cards. Some of my handmade flowers. Thinking of using that, why not? I think I might staple that one down. Might go with that pale one again. Or I could go with this darker one. I'll take two out just in case. Do I add more? I've got a little bit of this. I'm trying to gauge how long this video has been. Last time I ended up having much longer than I expected. So I think this is going to be just the making of the clusters, and the video of the card making will be the following week, because there's just no time. And maybe at that time I'll also do the folder at the same time, so that it's a little bit longer video. Of course, I'm going to be probably edging some of these as well. And I need to decide what paper to use underneath some of them. Well, all of them actually. I need to figure out what paper I'm going to use. Trying to figure out which one I've used so far. I need at least 5. At least 6, sorry. And I've got 5 done now. I don't feel like I've done any dent in my scraps. Here we go. There's just as much scraps as I had before. Okay, I don't have any other ones. What I do have is this here, this cardboard. So maybe I could use that as a base. It's a little bit darker than the other ones, but What else do I have? I have a bunch of these. I probably cut something out. I have this as well. This is really dark, but I can probably put a bunch of different things on it that's gonna make it lighter. And just removing the edge is gonna brighten it up as well. Okay, and then I think I do want to have something going down. I also have this paper. This was sent to me and I've been hoarding it. So I just think it's just so pretty with the gold flecks in it. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just gonna put down the paper and commit to it, because if I don't start committing to some of the paper choices, I'm never gonna get this done. See, already it's a lot brighter because the papers I've put on top are not so dark. Feeling my paper sticking. Why not? It's probably going to get covered with something else anyway. I just feel bad about throwing out this little edge. I don't know why. Plus, I don't like the fact that this paper was straight edge. But now I've got this straight edge, but anyway. We're gonna find ways of making that disappear. This is an index card that I've used coffee on. I wasn't sure if I'd like the other side better, but anyway, I've committed now to this, so it's gonna be like that. It's gonna, like, just that makes it a focal point. I feel like it just makes it interesting. I kind of like what I've got going so far, so I don't want to cover it all up. But this is gonna hide some of that straight edge. Of course, it also hides some of the shape, but this could be something fun for another card. This as well. Okay, this is what I was looking for. I've got to close off my glue. I forgot to do it, and now I feel like it's drying up. Okay, so I'm gonna have a little bit of this. So at the end of the day, there's not a lot of the brown left. Just enough to have a base that's kind of solid, because I need something to work with. Okay, and do I use a dark red, the dark like that, or do I go with a pale one? I think I want to go with a pale now. I think I'm gonna go with the dark. Ouch! That hurt. Poked my finger with the end of the brad. Yeah, like that. This is the next one. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6, 2 of each of the colors. I don't have any whites. Just happened that way, I guess. wondering if I can make this be the base for the flower. And I've got these dark threads here. Which I think would be pretty with this. I think I like this. I'm going to raise this up a bit because I feel otherwise it's going to be very long. And then I'm going to put this one on top, like so. And then there was this one. Like that. Just want to use these tiny little pieces because I don't want them on my desk, and it just feels like it's gonna make the center of the card that I'm making make more sense if there's other little pieces. Oops. Yeah, maybe like that. Okay. And that's the next one. And then we'll do a final one because I still have this left and I don't want it on my desk. So it's time to use it up. Don't believe the back. Yeah, the back has also some writing on it, so this is perfect. Just fluff it down. And then I can was gonna put it that way, but I just feel like it looks strange to have the two coming out that way, so I'm just gonna go for this instead. Of course, this is the same paper, so it unifies it. It goes together. Don't want it on my desk, and I don't want to have it in my bin either, so I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna actually staple that one in. I'll see. It is beautiful paper, this paper, but it's just a weird shape, and I just, you know, I want to have used up my stash, and hopefully this is not too wide. It's a bit wide. But I can always cut it down. When it comes time to do the card. Staple this down. Okay, so need another white because I've got some of every, two of every color, so I feel like I need to have the white. And this here, and that's the last one. So I hope that you've enjoyed seeing me make all of these. It's gonna be fun to assemble them now as cards, and I used up 6 flowers, so not bad. And I've used up a bunch of scraps, and I really like it. It's more than 6. It's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've done 8 because there's 4 types of flowers. So anyway, that's a whole lot, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you, Marty, for the idea, and I will see you guys next week with the actual card making session using these clusters. So love you. Take care. See you soon. Bye.